Hey Sagittarius, welcome back to Key Wisdom Tarot. My name is Ruth, I'm your Reiki Master and Tarot Reader. This, my lovelies, is your bi-weekly healing intuitive reading for the time between the 29th of August, which is today, and the 12th of September. We're going to draw some cards looking at those energies week by week. We'll also look at some key energies and experiences and outcomes, I should say, for the month, okay, for this next couple of weeks. Now, welcome back to all my loyal subscribers and supporters. Thank you so much for all your love and support over the last year or so. And I also want to say a big welcome to all those that are new to Key Wisdom Tarot. Key Wisdom is mindfulness, meditation, Reiki and tarot. That is how I work, and I do that because my aim really is to hopefully help you to heal, to raise your vibration, and to help you to grow and to expand and to learn about yourself, your life, your soul, and your mission in this life. Okay, my darlings, I have shuffled, I have meditated. I'll do a little bit more of that on camera, and then we'll get started on your reading. Okay, my darling Sagittarius, card at the base of the reading is the Five of Swords. Card at the base of the reading is perspective. You need to see this one through. So there's some changes in perspective that are trying to happen for you guys. Now, the thing about change is that it's inevitable and it begins from within. It doesn't begin in our conscious minds. It begins on a more spiritual level, on a more soulful level. So your body, your soul, your body knows where you need to be in life. Your karmic cycles know where you need to be in life, and they know the path you're walking long before your conscious mind does. And this Five of Swords is an indication of that, okay? So sword energy is about our consciousness, our thought, our mind, our clarity, our consciousness, our communication, our awareness, what we allow ourselves to think, what we allow ourselves to say, what we allow ourselves to believe. And the number 5 on the Tree of Life, that's why I always talk about Tree of Life, is linked to change, okay? So when we meditate on that, we think about, well, what does change mean? And what is change, and how does change manifest? How is it manifested? Well, karmically, as I said, change is manifested from within, from a spiritual level. So that means it's coming from within you. There's a change that's trying to happen. There's a change in your perspective that is occurring already. The process has begun. So your perspective, your ideas, something about your point of view is coming through, is changing, and we want to hold on to what we know. We do. It's not easy. It's not easy to change our mind. It's not easy to consciously take on new ideas, but it's happening. So let's see that awareness, that acceptance. Let's see how that is going to manifest itself over the next couple of weeks for you. So let's look at the first key energy. We'll look at this one here, which is Judgment. And this is the last key energy, but we'll look at that right at the end of the reading as an outcome. So when I talk about key energies, I talk about key as in K-I. And that means energy. So key is energy, life, force, universal energy, chi, whatever you want to call it, okay? And what that means is it's going to be something that we feel, we experience, that's manifested within your energetic body, your emotional body, your mental body. And the first one of those is Judgment, number 20. So we know that with a 2, there's a new partnership, new commitment, new idea, new understanding, okay? With a 0, that's the beginning of something. Before we take action, it's about being ready to take action, being in a place where you're able to start something new. So think about what that means. That idea, that energy is like okay, it's time to commit to begin anew. That's the energy of Judgment. And in this instance, it's seemingly a new perspective. Now, Judgment manifests itself in our lives, however, it's quite an abrupt energy. So with Judgment, it's something is going to happen, a situation or circumstance that reveals something to you, reveals something about yourself, reveals something about your perspective, your identity. And that could be anything. It could be a conversation. It could involve other people. It might not. It might be that you meditate. It might be that you have some time off work with the flu. There's a lot of people going down with the flu recently. I don't know how that's happening. Seeing as though it's been the hottest it's been on record, over the last few days. But anyway, there are a lot of people getting viruses here in where I am, my friends and stuff. Anyway, so there's a situation or circumstance arising that helps you to see something new about yourself, okay? In this instance, it's seemingly your headspace, your perspective, your ideas. So let's have a look at how this might manifest itself in a bit more detail, okay? So let's look at this first row. So first of all, we've got death, we've got the sun. The sun card was at the bottom of the deck when I was shuffling before I turned the camera on, okay? So we've got the sun card, we've got the King of Wands, and we've got the Hermit Energy. Major arcana, really, massively here. We've got some clarifiers. These are the clarifiers here, and this is a clarifier here, seemingly. So we've got the death card. So we've got transformation coming, and we've got light that comes in after that. Very interesting cards, these, actually, Sagittarius, for you, because there's been as those people that have been, following my readings this year, there's been there is this change this transformation that wants to come through. Astrologically this year, because of the 3 eclipses, January, July, December, Capricorn, Cancer, Capricorn, because of those 3 eclipses, we're all evolving and transforming in really significant ways, whether that's in our minds and in our thoughts, in our ideas, in our feelings, or whether that's in actually the things that we do, in the actions that we take. There's huge transformations coming, and this is saying that you're in that space of transforming something about your identity. It's seemingly about your identity, this. I say that because death card is number 4, is number 13, which adds up to number 4. Number 1 is, as I said, the initiation of something, the act of beginning something. So actually starting something, taking an act to begin something, okay? And number 3 is about personal expansion. It's about personal understanding, personal growth, you being happy being you in the world. So there's like a new sort of beginning there's a new incarnation of you, if you will. A new incarnation of you. A new way of being. With these energies, though, these energies here, including the Hermit Energy as well, it shows that it's actually quite intense for you. I don't know where you're at today, what you're doing today, but this is a process that's intense. This amount of change, it really is. I don't want to say draining you, but it's really, you're having to dig so deep with this. You're finding it challenging, and it is challenging, but it's for your best. That might mean something ending, something in your life ending, a job or a relationship, whatever it is, I don't know. But it could represent something that you have to end something, or that you maybe want to start something new. Either way, whatever it is for you is demanding. It's very demanding on you. It's taking its toll on you emotionally. The good news is we also have the happiest card in the deck with this, okay? So look, we've got the death card immediately followed by the sun card, and the sun is the happiest card in the deck, and it's also linked to the 3rd chakra as well. This is number 4. No, not number 14, number 19. I didn't say about number 4. Number 4, 1 plus 3 plus 4. That's about new foundations. Okay, establishing new foundations. Growing with, creating a new structure, growing within that new structure. Okay, establishing a new way of life, really, for yourself. We've got the Sun card, so this also suggests that it's something that's very happy, though. And it's also something that's extremely authentic to you. The solar plexus is our 3rd chakra, and the solar plexus is a card that wants to come here. Hang on, which one is it? Yeah, I think it's this one. The solar plexus is about your authenticity, and as I said, you being happy being you in the world, you being truthful with yourself in your mind about who you are, about what your truths are, what your beliefs are, what your feelings are, the truth of that, you connecting with that, engaging with that, and also expressing that to people around you. And that's what brings us unbridled, unbounded joy and happiness. The fact that we can be who we are, and we can be happy with who we are, and then we can be around people that can accept us for who we are, and that we can accept people for who they are, because we understand we are who we are. Now, that's a lot of who we are, but that's also the sort of the message of the Sun card. Now, we've got interesting. We've got, I don't know what this is, but we've got this Sun card clarified by this. Oh, and it's the 4 of Wands. So we've got, sorry, because it's a beautiful card. You've got 2 really, really great happy cards here. And this is new foundations, this card. So the 4 of Wands, for shorthand, we call this the marriage card. And this is about, this is really, this 4, you've got to think about it as the 4 things in your life for you as an individual that you need, that make you happy. So each one of these ones can represent that. So for you, it's, for me, for example, it'd be for me to be able to speak my mind freely without, and to, have that accepted by the person that I'm with, or whatever. Do you know what I mean? You have to have your 4 non-negotiables kind of thing. The freedom that you need, whatever, the security that you need. And this is what those things are. So this could be twofold. This could be the new thing that you're starting is, it's a relationship that you're in is transformed. So you're married, or you're in a committed relationship, you live with your partner, whatever it is, and you are being open. Maybe you're someone who's usually a little bit closed off, and you all know what I mean, because you've all had relationships and you know how much of yourself you give to those relationships. Now, let's not pretend, because we all know that we protect ourselves, and we all know that we do that. We all know that we let people in so far, because it's safe for us. Everyone does it. No one talks about it, but we all do it, and we all know it. And there's like an unspoken understanding when we're in relationships. But then there comes a point where you meet somebody that breaks down those barriers, man, that you sort of want to be vulnerable with, that you want to feel safe feeling vulnerable with them, and you want them to feel safe with you, to be vulnerable with you. And it could be that type of thing where we're stopping there, I'm going to let them in so far, and we're actually letting them in all the way. Hard, intense, difficult, challenging, but such a beautiful, beautiful thing, because then we can experience new karma, new experiences, a new level of truth. So for some of you, it could be that, a transformation in your relationship with yourself even, and in your acknowledgement of how you treat yourself, of how you treat others, of how you think of yourself, of whatever perspective it is indicated here. For others of you, it could mean, instead of a change, it could be the end. You might want to end something. You might want to end a relationship. You might want to end a situation that you're in that's seemingly secure. And the reason you want to end it is because it's just not making you happy. And even though you do that thing, we all do it. We all say, no, I'm fine. No, I'm good. But really, We ain't fine, man. We ain't good, man. We don't trust you, man. We don't want to give my heart to you. So you tell yourself you're fine, but really you're not. So some of you might be finally getting to escape a situation that you've wanted to escape for some time. So you apply it as it goes to your life. But either way, it's a very happy thing that you want to do. You want to, this is a kind of confidence, and this is about acting confidently, taking actions confidently. The wand energy is about our passions and our the things that motivate us, the things that give us life, the things that make us feel alive. And the king, masculine energy, acts on those things. So this is us acting on the things that make us feel alive, things that make us feel good, things that make us feel free, things that make us feel happy. This is us taking action confidently toward those things. We're facing our transformations. You are facing your judgment. You are facing the revelations, the truths that are necessary for you to accept in order to have the situation that you want. You're ready to face them. We've also got the Hermit energy. Now, it is Virgo season, and the Virgo season is the Hermit energy. So I'm going to be doing a video, actually, because I always do a post on Instagram and on Facebook about each of the key tarot cards for the month, the star sign card, if you will, and the astrological transits, which I haven't done for August because I was just ill, because I was in hermit mode, and I really was. I was in hermit, judgment, and death. It's a combo, man. But don't worry, I experience it a lot. I experience it pretty intensely just because of, as I said, how I mindfulness, meditation, Reiki, tarot. So I can't distract myself from it. I've got to sort of live with it every second until it passes. Believe me, now I feel like this. Oh, I feel so good. And that would be you. The Hermit energy, though, also, there's an indication of Hermit energy because it's earth energy, it's earth sign, Virgo. There's an indication of two things, okay? So the first is physical healing, okay? So there could be an essence of having to convalesce, having to get better. And it's that time in isolation that allows you to reflect on things, consider things, okay? But there's also if we're not talking physically, the Hermit can talk about long-standing issues, problems, ideas, thoughts, etc. that you've been held in, that have been just with you in your life as you walk. And the Hermit is an indication that those carrying that, if you will, carrying the energy of carrying the strain of the anxiety or the worry or the fact that we sometimes ignore things, which we all do, the strain of that can take its toll. So sometimes the Hermit energy, Hermit energy represents that it's been something that's been, as I said, either physical, it's taken a physical toll on you, or it's been something that's going on for a long time, and it's finally time for you to investigate that. So we've got the Hermit energy here. So we're looking within the Hermit with this card. We're contemplating. Now, meditation, for example, the word meditation is, the etymology of that word is meditare from Latin, and it means to reflect, to consider, to think over. And that's what the Hermit does. And so the meditation is active, it's masculine, it's a masculine thing. So it's things that we do actively. And what we do actively with the Hermit is we consider and we think over, okay? We reflect, consider, and think over the things that we have been avoiding, not thinking about, not focusing on, because we're being distracted from, for example. The Hermit energy linked to Virgo again, so it's about we're detail oriented here. We're spending time looking for the answers. We're spending time trying to reveal things for ourselves, trying to find things out for ourselves. So it can indicate, yes, you might be isolated when you do that. You might be in bed ill with the flu while you do it, but you actively seek to understand with the Hermit energy. You actively seek to understand. So for you guys, it seems like this week, don't really get bogged down with the whole week thing, but I just say it because it's easier to do it in 2 rows. But, you know, so you can say 29th to the 4th if you want, but whatever, you'll experience all this. What it's saying, suggesting is the transformation, as in a change in either your manifested circumstances, or the relationship that you're in, or the job that you do, or how you make your living, or whatever, or internally, your perspective, your ideas about something. There's a change that's coming through. The change has been something that's long-standing. We know that because it's starting to percolate to the surface with the number 5. It's coming from within. And you are ready to act confidently in your best interests. That's something that maybe you haven't been able to do up till this point. There's been other... As I said that, I'm drawn to this. If this is a Hierophant, I'll laugh my head off. We've been drawn... It's as if you've been... Other responsibilities have held you. So there's been other things that have held you up until this point from acting in your own best interests, from doing literally what you want that's going to make you happy. Something's been stopping you, holding you back. And it's responsibility. It could be family. It could be, job, money, mortgage. I don't know. Now, you realise it's important to act in your own self-interest. Now, it's like, for example, people who... I mean, my mum and dad were... when we were growing up, my mum and dad lived separately. So my dad worked in London and we lived up in North, up in Blackburn, Lancashire, where we grew up. And my mum always used to say to us, oh yeah, don't worry, like Dad, he sends money, like he's sending you money, like he works down there. My mum works up here, she has a job obviously. And my dad had a job in London. She'd always tell us this, she's having money, and it wasn't until years later, so when we were like 18, 19, 20, 21, we realised that my mum was protecting my dad. Really, my dad wasn't supporting us, but we had, as it turns out, we've all got a great relationship with my dad. He's helping me secure a property, actually. We've all got a great relationship with my dad, as it turns out, because my mum never badmouthed him or said anything bad. Now, some people might do it the other way. So they could be in a relationship, they could have children, and what they do is they're together, physically together in the house with the children, they all live together, but they hate each other. The mum and dad don't love each other, they hate each other. And they think that the best thing to do is to stay together because that's what kids need. Apparently, we're told that kids need both parents in the house and that's what's good for the kids. But actually, the friction, how uncomfortable it is, the kids pick up on that. Kids pick up on everything. Kids are way, way, way intuitive, yeah? Why I love kids so much. And they pick up on everything. So actually, it's not doing the kids any good, you two staying together. I'm not talking to someone specific. It's not like I'm picking that up. I'm using this as an example. The point is, it's like, if you're in that situation, it's like you realise it. You're like, do you know what? This isn't in the best interests. The best interest to make me happy is to do what I want to do, to go in the direction that I want to go, because that's going to help for my family as well, for my husband, for my wife, whoever you, blah, blah, blah. So it's about, you've got to recognise your self-interests are important. You must do what makes you happy, because 2 miserable people raising children, why I'm talking about this, I don't know. This is just an example. 2 miserable people raising 2 children makes 4 miserable people. Doesn't make a happy family. It makes everybody miserable. Whether you want to acknowledge that or not. It does. Fact. So it's kind of like, if I'm not saying that's what's going on in your life, in your situation. Okay? I'm just saying, I'm using that as an example. You've got to look at this card, what he's doing with this, okay? You've actually got to stand up for what is important, for what matters. You've got to also then act confidently, going toward the thing that or creating the situation, manifesting the situation that makes you feel good, happy, free, joyful. Because believe, that's what the Sun card's about. It's all of us being this. It's all of us doing that. The best interest for you is the best interest for everyone. It's like, what did he say? Charity begins at home. Yes, it does. I used to say, I put on my Instagram, keeping some spirit on Instagram. I put a post a few, nice. I put a post a few weeks ago going, I totally forgot what I was going to say because I was distracted by this card. That's a good card to have. What was I going to... It'll come to me. Okay, so we've got Knight of Cups, Queen of Swords. That's a clarifier. We've got the Seven of Pentacles. Don't be putting energy... Do not be putting energy trying to manifest something that you know in your heart ain't right for you. Don't do it. Because this is what happened. This is the result. We ain't satisfied. We ain't happy. It ain't working. So you can see it ain't working. That's what that card means. Sorry, I just had to come to that. And then we've got the Knight of Swords. Okay, so a lot of action here. Movement, action. Okay, so we've got the Knight of Cups. Cups energy, emotions, or intuitive bodies, etc. Okay, emotional, intuitive bodies. And again, acting on them because it's masculine. Now, we're not sure of outcomes when we're knights or when we're pages. We're not sure if it's the right thing or the wrong thing, but we know that we must follow that. We know that we must go and have that conversation in a loving manner, in a compassionate way, speak the truth, ask the questions, ask the person out, whatever it is you need to do. There's a kindness and a compassion with this energy, and I want to say it's reciprocated, but there seems to be a lot of other people involved in your decision, in your transformation, in the thing that you're trying to change. There seems to be other people, I suppose indicated on there as well, other people, other people involved. So it could be actually for some of you, and I don't like to make predictions like that, but it could be for some of you that there are kids involved or family members involved or whatever, something like that, business partners, whatever, and you going off on your own best interest because it's good for you. Oh, that's what I said. You won't change the world if you try to change the world. That's what I put on my Instagram. You can't, it's impossible. You see how many people have tried to do it, it doesn't work. And the reason it doesn't work is because people spend time trying to work people out, interpret people's behaviour. How can we get them to agree with us? How can I get them to agree with me? How can I get them to see it from my point of view? People, that's what we go through our lives trying to understand. I want to understand what he's thinking. I want to understand what she's thinking. This is a good idea. If I apply this, everyone will agree. This is what people do to try to change the world, and it's beautiful and it's admirable, but it doesn't work because you don't know somebody else. You don't know anybody else. You only know what they tell you. You only know what they want you to know. You only know what they allow you to know. And actually, some of us don't even know ourselves. We only allow ourselves to know so much, or allow ourselves to think so much, or allow ourselves to say so much to ourselves. Allow ourselves to accept so much to ourselves. Focus on understanding you. Focus on understanding why you have the beliefs, desires, anger, anxieties that you have. Because once you focus on those things and understand those things, do you know what you get? You gain compassion. You gain compassion not only for yourself, but for every other person on this planet. Because after you do that work and you spend that time actively reflecting, considering, thinking over who you are, why you're angry, why you're sad, why that offended you, why you don't like this person, why you believe in this. Once you spend that time understanding that, it gives you compassion for yourself and for other people, because you'll realise, I'm going to swear, shit, it's hard, man. It's hard to be alive. It's hard to interact. That's why the world's the way it is. So people going around trying to control the people, trying to tell people how to live and how to whatever, breathe and where they should go and what they should eat and what they should wear. People can go around doing that, but I tell you what, it ain't gonna save none of us. You've got to know yourself. That's what brings freedom. That's because, and the freedom's there because it gives us compassion. It gives us that understanding. It helps us to accept, shit, I'm in this situation because I didn't understand. I didn't understand that I had low self-esteem. And it was my low self-esteem that made me angry. So that means that when I look at this other person and he's angry, maybe it's something else like that. Maybe he's got low self-esteem. Maybe he was abused. Whatever. Do you see what I'm saying? These type of truths, that's where the value is. That's where the blessing is. And there's only you that can find it. And it seems like some of you have done that type of thinking and reflecting and considering. Because you're seemingly, and this could be you, probably is you, ready to talk compassionately. I accept that this is an example. I accept that I've been a bad husband. And the reason that I was a bad husband is because I didn't want to be a husband. I never wanted to be married. I just got married because that's what I thought I wanted. And that's what I was taught was necessary. But I don't want to be, or whatever, for example. This could be somebody else having that conversation with you. Either way, there seems to be other people involved. These do represent figures, if you will, all the thing. But it's also elements and energies of you. So we're going to look at you and energies and how this is you. So you are wanting to have conversations. And you also, because you've got feelings, as I said, and you want to share them, you want to speak compassionately, honestly, openly with somebody or with yourself. Say to yourself, shit, man, that's why I was cheating. The reason I was cheating is because I need that boost to my self-esteem, because I don't feel good enough. I don't believe I'm good enough. So if I can cheat on my boyfriend, on my girlfriend, on my husband, on my wife, then I know that I felt like that meant that I was desirable. But do you know what? Didn't matter how much other people desired me, I didn't like me. And now I know that. Honest conversations. The Queen, is about understanding. So masculine energies, we take action. Yeah? The masculine side of you is what makes you take that step, do that thing. Yeah? The Queens are about our understanding, what's innate within us, what we understand within, what we know within. And in this instance, because it's sword energy, it's in our minds. So it seems to be that you come into realizations over this time period, and you are willing to be truthful with yourself and acknowledge the truth. Because this card is that truth has been trying to come through. It's been knocking on your psyche, and you've not wanted to hear it. And finally you start to hear it, and you start to accept it, and you start to allow that to be a part of you, this truth, as opposed to denying it, whatever is in your mind, in your thoughts, okay? Because there's this energy here, Seven of Pentacles. As I said, Pentacles energy is where we put our energy in order to manifest security. And there's a mystery. Sevens are about mystery. They're all about mystery, okay? The Seven of Pentacles, and what we mean by mystery is about trying to understand. So in this instance, it's like, I keep doing this, and nothing, it ain't working. Why is it? I'm trying as hard as I can try. I'm doing everything in my power. I'm committing to this relationship, job, whatever it is for you. And it just ain't getting me anywhere, I'm still feeling like it ain't working. I'm still feeling like it's not right or whatever. And the reason is, what are you listening to? Whilst taking those actions, are you listening to this? Okay, I understand who I am. I understand my point of view. I understand what I need, what's going to make me happy. Or are you listening to this? Nah, I'm fine, I'm fine, I'm going to keep plugging away, I'm going to keep doing it. Because this is what happens. We listen to this, we get this. We pretend to ourselves, we get this. Don't matter how much energy we put into that marriage, if you don't love your wife or if you don't love your husband and you love your children and you love yourself, I ain't going to finish that sentence. And I ain't speaking directly to anybody in that sense. I'm using that as an example, but it could be for some people. Yeah? There's a clarifying card here. Let's have a look. I mean, you couldn't make it up, could you? You could not make it up. Some of you are fighting yourself. You're fighting it. And why? You're making it harder. You make it harder on yourself. But don't worry. You're not going to get punished for it. That's not how karma works. These two cards here are cards of avoidance. That's what these two cards are. They're avoidance cards. I don't want to see it. I don't want to know it. I don't want to recognize it. This is why when I say sword energy, I say what we think, what we say, and what we allow ourselves to think. What we allow ourselves to accept. This is what these two cards represent, you see. These are avoidance. Well, that's not avoidance, actually. That's change, and that's change happening. This is avoidance, yeah. Avoiding looking at the truth, avoiding engaging with it, avoiding this, truths. This avoidance creates karma. So karma is not a punishment, and it's not a reward. So forget that if that's what you've been told, because that's not what karma is. As spoken about in the Tibetan Book of the Dead, karma is actually created by the things that we do, the actions that we take, and by the actions and the things that we do not do. So I know a friend of mine. She's a lovely girl. I've known her since I was 11 years old, and ever since I've known this girl, we're now 36, by the way. Ever since I've known this girl, she's been in relationships. So 11 years old, at school, she's in relationships, she's got a boyfriend, and all the way through life. And what she's avoiding, clearly, is being single, being on her own, being by herself. So throughout her life, just like throughout my life, I've had my karma and you've had yours. There's been, the universe has engineered circumstances. I won't talk about them because they're her personal things. But, the universe has engineered situations and circumstances that have tried to give her the opportunity of being alone. She was in hospital. She was very, very poorly. She had what she herself described as a near-death experience. And she described this to me at her hen do, bachelorette party for those in America. And she said, and this person that she was marrying, who she's obviously no longer married to, they decided this is what we should do. We should get married. Now, at that point, this was a good few years ago now. At that point, over 10 years ago now. At that point, I didn't understand about karma. I didn't understand, maybe, this is your opportunity to actually be alone. It wasn't a successful relationship even before they got married. They got married anyway. But she couldn't do it. Your karma's not a punishment. Your karma is trying to engineer your truth. Because engagement with your truth, the truth of who you are, engagement with that brings about compassion. And as I said, not just compassion for yourself, but compassion for every other person on this planet. Avoiding. You've got to understand why. Remember, the number 7, which is actually my master number, as it turns out, the number 7 is all about mystery. Why? Why do I do this? Why do I keep doing this? Why do I keep putting my energy and effort into trying to manifesting security in this space? Why do I do this? Why do I think this? What do I really think? You have got to actively engage, consider, reflect, and think over your truth. And you must act accordingly, move toward that. Now, I understand and know there's other people around. There's other people that are involved here. And I understand that. I'm not telling you to quit your marriage, quit your job, leave your kids. I'm not telling you that. And neither is the universe, actually. The universe is asking you to engage with your truth. The universe is asking you to ask yourself, why do you keep putting your energy and effort into something that makes you feel disappointed? Why do you keep avoiding what you really think? Why do you keep doing that? Some of you, it seems like the truth is coming through. It's coming through. The truth will out. And as I said, you could be single, living by yourself, no kids, no this, and these still affect you. Excuse me. These avoidances, we all do it. I do it. I avoid truths. It gets harder for me now because of, as I said, mindfulness, meditation, Reiki, tarot. It's hard for me to avoid it, because as soon as this one peeks its head, I have to look at it, because I know that it's there, because I can feel it. Each of the cards, you see, for me as well, because I'm a Reiki master, so I work with energy as well. Or for me, I call it vibrations, really, because each card, each energy, each number, each colour has a different vibration. So, and I know what they are without looking at the cards. You know, sometimes I feel like I've had a day where I feel like, I remember it's such a good day this. It was a hard day for me early this year. And I was like, oh my gosh. And I was feeling this energy, and I was like, for the whole day, and I was meditating, I was being mindful with this energy. And I was like, I think this is, I can't remember what, I say judgment. I think it might have been judgment, actually. I feel like this is judgment. So all day I've been talking out loud about what I'm experiencing, what I'm feeling, what I'm thinking. I'm saying, oh God, I feel like this is new, this is scary. Whatever I was saying, I can't remember. I was saying it out loud. And I said, I think it's judgment. I said, I think this is judgment. So anyway, at night time, before bedtime, I always sit here at this desk. This isn't here, obviously. I always sit here at this desk and I meditate, just before bed, just connect, temperance, think of temperance, that sort of, that vibe. Yeah, I try to just connect, just sort of purify my energy, just connect again. And I picked up my cards and I shuffled my cards and said, right, I said, universe, if this energy that I've been experiencing today is judgment, just give me a sign. And guess what card flew out the deck? Judgment. So yeah, all the cards held it. It was funny, man. I was like, yes, universe. You see, ask and you shall receive. I love that about the universe, It's got the best sense of humour. Anyway, so last card is the Knight of Swords. So we don't know what's going to happen with the Knights, remember? We're not the king or the queen. We don't know what's going to happen. I get a sense that this is somebody else wanting to talk to you. This energy is one of the most intense for me physically to feel. It's like it leaves me breathless, and it's again similar in this sense where there's you want to fight it. I wanted to fight this energy. I wanted to fight the urge to have this conversation, say this, think this, know this. I wanted to fight that urge, but it was like I was having a fight within myself, if you will. And it just got too intense, so I just had to accept, right, okay, this is how I feel then. I feel anxious. Can't remember what it was now when I actually specifically spent the day with this energy, but blimey, it was an intense day for me. So for you, this could be you. This could be you wanting to fight the urge, trying to fight the urge to speak your truth, to say what's really going on, Sag. Wanting to fight it, but it's coming through. It's happening. That conversation is going to be had. Or it could be someone coming towards you, and it could really be that somebody in your life that you speak compassionately to them. They ain't speaking compassionately to you necessarily, but you're having a conversation at least. Okay, so this could all be you though. It doesn't have to be other people. I don't like to talk about other people necessarily because it's not a love reading this, but you should experience this energy as well, that urge to want to say, urge to want to speak, urge to want to know what you think, which you get to, and to potentially to share that. Remember, it's it's masculine, so it's a masculine energy. Your urge to want to share that. Now, you might be uncertain of how people are going to take it, blah, blah, blah. But to get to this, we have to be truthful with ourselves. You have to be truthful for yourself. Okay, so last card, another 7. You know, the questions of because remember, Cups energy is about our emotions. 7 is the number of mystery. Why do I feel this way? What do I really desire? When I see this card, especially with the Hermit, even though we've got this is why I think this may be somebody else. But anyway, when I see this card, because I know what this card feels like as well, just like Temperance, it's similar to Temperance in the sense that Temperance is like, you can't move, man, when it's Temperance. But I love it. Now I can. You can't move with this card. You can't act with this card because you're so blooming confused. You don't know what to do. You don't know what you want. You're not sure how you feel. But really, as we see, you're keeping yourself in the dark. This should be cleared away by an event, a situation, a circumstance that arises that reveals something to you, that makes you face up to something. Whether that's this person, this conversation, that's what's going to happen. So, you know, you've been with me this year. You know that I've been saying this to you, Sagittarius. Don't worry, because the universe ain't saying you're doing it wrong. You're not being fast enough. It's taking you too long. No, Sagittarius. Everything that is happening right now is necessary. Because remember, the universe's aim is this, compassion toward you and to others. For you to have compassion and truth toward yourself and to other people. That can take a lifetime. So don't think that you've fallen behind, missed the boat, you're doing it slowly, you're not doing it right, because you're beautiful where you are, you're beautiful. But the realizations, the change of mind, the shift of perspective, whilst it feels intense, it's just a part of the journey that you're on and the journey that you're walking, okay? So embrace that. All right, my darling Sagittarius, I hope you like that reading. I like that reading, actually. I think it's a real... It's a good one. It's a goodie. I liked it. Give it a thumbs up if you did, my darlings, okay? You can obviously share this on with your friends, your family, on your WhatsApp, your Facebook, or maybe not for some of you. Subscribe if you haven't. Click the bell for notifications. Tomorrow I'm uploading the astrology for the month of September, looking at the Hermit energy and the individual transits this is for July, for the month of September. I'll post that video tomorrow so you can watch it at your leisure over the weekend potentially, and probably next week I'll post love readings, though I am still 5 behind on my personal readings, which have to be done because people have already paid for them and they have been waiting for months, so I have to get on with those. But yeah, let me know how they go in the comments. Have a wonderful couple of weeks, my fabulous Sagittarius, and I'll see you all again very soon with your brand new reading. Take care, my darlings. Bye.